Installing the AFMS equipment correctly is essential to efficient operation. In this video, I will show you how to install the air pressure pickup tubes in the supply air duct, install a pressure transducer, and how to calculate the free area of the duct. Before starting the installation, there are a few recommendations that need to be mentioned. The first recommendation is to confirm that you have enough pickup tube to be installed for the size of the opening to get an accurate average value for the airstream. Multiple pickup tubes, at least 2 of them, are recommended in a parallel pitot tube array. More averaging points, meaning either more or longer pitots, are recommended for larger duct dimensions. Please reference the chart in the selection guide for more information. The second recommendation is the pressure flow pickup tubes should be mounted in filtered air in the location of the laminar flow, which is about 6 straight duct diameters down the duct. The first step for installing the air pressure pickup tubes in the supply air duct using the SSS 1000 is to determine the duct's flow direction and install the pickup tubes based on the flow arrow imprint. Note, the pickup tubes must be mounted with the arrow pointing in the direction of the airflow. Next, cut a 7/8 inch hole in the duct to accept the pickup tubes. Finally, attach the pickup tubes to the duct using 2 self-tapping screws inserted through the 3/16 inch mounting holes. Repeat these steps to mount the remaining pickup tubes. If you are using a BAC 9311C AFMS, remove the black shipping plugs from the pressure sensing ports. Then connect the port H's of all the pickup tubes in parallel and add a T for the tubing connection to the high port on the AFMS controller. It is best practice to locate this T in the middle of the manifold. Then connect the port L's of all the pickup tubes in parallel and add a T for the tubing connection to the low port on the AFMS controller. It is best practice to locate this T in the middle of the manifold. It is good practice to have equal tubing lengths between the high and low tubing runs. Also locate the controller and sensors so that the tubing length is minimized. If you are using a BAC 5901C AFMS, you will need to connect the pitot tubes to a TPE 1475-21 or -22. When installing the transducer, ensure there is enough space around it to make the tubing and electrical connections. Note, the TPE 1475-21 or 22 may be mounted in any position, but typically is installed in a vertical surface with the pressure ports on the right and the cable entrance on the left. Avoid locations with severe vibrations or excessive moisture. The enclosure has a standard 1/2 inch conduit opening and may be installed with either the conduit coupler or a gland type fitting. Use screws threaded through the case's mounting holes to fasten the assembly to a location near the array of pressure flow pickup tubes. Now that the transducer is installed, connect the port H's of all the pickup tubes in parallel and add a T for tubing connection to the high port on a supply air pressure transducer. It is best practice to locate this T in the middle of the manifold. Next, connect the port L's of all the pickup tubes in parallel and add a T for the tubing connection to the low port on the supply air pressure transducer. And it is best practice to locate this T in the middle of the manifold. Again, it is a good practice to have equal tubing lengths between the high and low tubing runs. Also, locate this transducer and sensors so tubing length is minimized. To connect the wiring from the transducer to the AFMS controller, use at least 22 gauge shielded twisted pair wire for all your connections. And do not locate this device wires in the same conduit with wires supplying inductive loads. First, connect the AFMS controller's common terminal to the common terminal on the transducer. Then, connect the AFMS controller's phase terminal to the transducer's power terminal. Lastly, connect the signal wire from the out on the transducer to UI9 on the AFMS controller. The transducer should be set for 0 to 2 inches of pressure and 0 to 10 for the voltage. Now that everything is installed, I need to measure the supply duct at the cross section where the pitot tubes are installed and calculate the free area of the supply duct in square feet. The calculation used for this is to multiply the width of the duct by the height of the duct. If inches are used, be sure to divide 144 to get your square feet. Save this result for commissioning stage. This completes the installation of the pickup tubes in the supply air duct, installing the pressure transducer, and calculating the free area. To learn more about KMC Controls airflow measurement station, or to learn more about any of the solutions from the building geniuses at KMC, visit us on the web at kmccontrols.com.